Happy Saturday, or greetings whenever you're joining us. My name is Caitlin, and this is Comeback Yoga's Level 2 Saturday morning class. This month we're focusing on the breath. So I hope that's something that you want to stick with, and I'll offer a kind of different breath practice this time. And know that if that isn't something that you want to explore today, find what feels good for you. And we will get started laying back on the mat. But first, I just wanted to let you know if you have blocks around or even like a big book, I would recommend it. And if you don't worry about it. It's not a big deal. The hard part's over. Okay, from here, we'll meet on the mat with the legs extended. Find the mat with both shoulder blades. And maybe you shimmy your shoulders together, kind of making a little shelf for the heart space. Your hands can be palms facing up or palms facing down, whatever feels good for you. Just remember that everything in our practice is optional. So arrive here, know that this is your practice. And if ever I'm leading us in something you don't want to do, skip it or find something else that feels better and know that we'll move on. Okay, friends, once you feel like you've arrived in your space and you've kind of let go of anything but this time together, just know that whatever you need to pick up once it's over will be there for you. Arrive and settle. And then for today's practice, I'll offer an ocean breath. Again, skip it if you don't want, but if you want to give it a try, seal your lips and start breathing in and out through your nose. So maybe allergy season, this is give it a try or leave it out. And then we're going to add some constriction in the back of the throat. And what I usually do is just bring my tongue to the roof of my mouth and then kind of press it up against the roof of my mouth. So the breath is going around my tongue to come in and out and through. And it makes this sound like a Darth Vader sound or an ocean sound, like waves coming up to the beach and then leaving. Just listen to your breath, whether you have this ocean breath or a different kind of breath. Bring your awareness to how it sounds right now. And for a few moments, just let that breath be the space where you rest, bring a bit of peace. We know that being aware of our breath can balance our nervous system. It can reduce our anxiety and depression. It really has so many benefits. So maybe if you want to set an intention for your time in this practice, it might just be to stay with your breath, whether that's an ocean breath, a normal breath, whatever's normal for you today. Just keep your awareness there. That might be something you choose to make your intention. Just breathing in, breathing out, creating this little space for you, recognizing your breath. You can keep this ocean breath throughout your practice. It's maybe like a challenge, something to pay attention to. Or you can drop it, come back to it. It's up to you. Just remember that breathing with our mouths, our lips sealed in and out through the nose might create some heat in the face. Just be aware of that. Create some warmth. And if you ever need to let go of that warmth, breathing out with your lips open. For 3 more breaths, just noticing your breath, staying with it. Friends, this is your practice, so if this is where you want to stay, this is your yoga, fantastic. If you're ready to move on, going to bring my right leg out to the right side, so it's kind of past or on this edge of my yoga mat, and then I'm going to cross my left ankle over my right ankle or bring my left heel just really close to my right. Then I'm going to lift my hands and draw them up towards the the right side of the mat. So my toes, my heels are close to the bottom right corner, and my hands are probably over, extended past the top right corner of the mat. You can cross the wrists as well, or hold the left palm with the right. Just make sure you're not shrugging the shoulders and sending it too hard. Some peaceful, restful, gentle energy in the shoulders, drawing them away from the ears as much as possible. This is our banana pose, because we look kind of like a banana. Breathing into the left side body, it's extended long. For 2 more breaths. Just a gentle side bend. Making your banana as rounded as you need. When you're ready, we will go the other way. So I'm going to slide my left heel past the left side of the mat, and then I'm going to cross my right ankle over the left ankle, and then I'm going to just slide my hands, and my shoulders are going to kind of point up towards the left top corner of the mat now. Breathing into the right side body. Once you've arrived, can you let go of tension and settle? Maybe keeping your ocean breath hanging out. Maybe checking in with whatever breath you have. And then when you're ready, we will roll into our tabletop pose. So you might take some time here bringing the knees into the chest. You can roll front and back, or you can rock side to side, just massaging the fascia of the back, the shoulders, checking out the spine, seeing how it feels. And if you're like, I don't want to be doing this, this isn't good for my back, then skip it and come up to a tabletop, and we'll meet there. So when you're ready, we'll have our hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips. For our tabletop pose, think about finding a flat tabletop, like you're gonna balance something on your table, okay? A full table. And then from here, find our cat-cow. So we're gonna drop the belly, point the tailbone and the nose for the sky. And then when you're ready to exhale, press out all your breath and then round the back. Tuck the tailbone and tuck the chin up to the chest. Towards the chest. Okay. From here, moving through cow pose with belly dropped, tailbone and chin pointed. And cat pose. Rounding the spine. Making this as big or small as feels good for you. Small in like a gentle small, not like a negative small. Small can be strong. Moving here with your breath. You can bring the shoulders in or leave them out. Just pressing the mat away with the knees, the toes, tops of the feet, and the palms. And when you're ready, we're going to find child's pose. Maybe if you have a block, grab it, place it towards the top of the mat, and then I'm going to bring my knees a little bit wider than hip width distance. I'm going to slide my toes towards one another and then sink my hips down towards my heels. From here, the head can come and rest on the mat and the arms are still extended in front. If it feels better for you to slide your hands, alongside your lower legs, that's fine. Maybe you walk the hands up towards your block in front of you, or you can even just tent your fingers if your hands are extended long in front of you and see how that feels on your shoulders. You find a little bit more opening in the back body. So find your hand placement. Know that everything is optional. You can always switch or try something new. This is a great pose to come back to your ocean breath, like a little cave, just listening to the breath. If you don't want to listen to the breath, notice the sensations, feeling the back body expanding and contracting as you stretch the hips down for a really long spine. For 3 more breaths in the child's pose, then we'll start to move. So great. From here, maybe you slide your toes open a little bit to point towards the back of the mat. And then we'll come up to rest on to our palms with the palms extended in front. So slide them forward towards the front if they're not already there. And then slide the weight in the head up towards the palms. I'm going to bring my weight into my right hand, and I'm going to lift my left hand. So thumbs pointing for the sky, fingers are pointing over the front of the mat. And then I'm going to reach back, so lift the hand up and then back. Maybe as you reach back, you slide the hips back with the hands, coming down kind of towards your child's pose, but open towards the side. Then when you're ready, slide forward, making a circle with the hands. Inhaling as you reach forward, exhaling as you come back. Breathing however feels good for you. For 2 more, just big arm, shoulder circles. Maybe some movement in the hips here. Check in, see how it feels. And then we'll bring our weight to our left hand, pressing the mat away. Extend the right hand, long right thumbs point, right thumb, just the one, points towards the top of the room. And then we will lift the hand high and then bring the hips back, perhaps, as you reach the hands towards the back of the mat. And then exhale, bring the hands forward. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, come forward. So really opening through the chest, checking in with the shoulders, the back body. And again, making this as big. This feels good for you. Leave the hips dropping back out if you don't want to. Move your hips, no worries. And then when you're ready, we'll come back to center. And if your knees are still open wide, just bring them back underneath your hips. And then we're going to step our right foot forward for a crescent lunge. So I have my hands framing the right foot. Take as long as you need. Really pressing into all of the right foot and the bottom of my left leg, the top of my left foot. Beautiful. So this is our low lunge. From here, maybe you come forward, just sliding your hips forward a little bit, sinking the hips down towards the mat. Just maybe finding a gentle hip stretch. And then when you're ready, slide the hips up so that you have more of a 90-degree in your left knee. And then we'll sweep the hands forward and then up for our crescent moon or a low lunge. Find your balance here. This can always be a bit of a balance shift as we change the orientation of our gaze. Draw the shoulders away from the ears, reaching the fingertips high. If that feels good, you can always bring your palms together in front of the chest. Pointing the left hip forward and maybe drawing the right hip back a little bit so that our hips are square at the front of the mat. So beautiful. From here, half splits. Don't get scared. It's okay. Splits can be a scary word here. Okay, but we're going to be fine. So maybe you have your blocks. Maybe you grab them and walk them closer to your hips, bringing the mat to you as you straighten the front leg. Or if you don't have blocks, don't worry. You can bring your hands to your hips and just really gently pay a lot of attention to how it feels to straighten the front leg. Stop whenever you need. Maybe if you want a deeper stretch, you can bring your chest towards your front knee. If that feels okay, you can bring your hands down to the mat. If you have hands that'll reach, if not, no worries. Just find what feels good for you. For your half split, maybe you move in and out, bending the front leg and then straightening it. Or maybe you stay still, just coming back to your intention. So what you might feel is a really deep stretch in the back of the front leg. You might notice stretching in the hips. Think about dropping the front hip down or the right hip down. Maybe you point the right toes or leave them resting on the mat. And then when you're ready, we're going to seal the foot, the right foot, for the mat. Ditch the blocks. Bring one block in front of you if you have them. And then bend the right knee. It's drawing the shoulders, the chest forward towards the front of the mat. And then we're going to bring both hands inside, or both hands to the left side of the right foot. So you might walk the right toe and heel, right toes and heel, out to the right side of the mat a little bit to make a little bit more space for your hips to kind of come forward, and this right knee is kind of coming out to the side. So this is our lizard pose. Maybe you deepen the lizard pose by bringing your elbows down to the mat, and if that's too far, you can always bring your elbows down to a block. Or maybe, if you like, you can keep your left hand really pressing into the mat, pressing away, and then open the chest, kind of lifting the right shoulder, stacking the right shoulder over left, and pressing the right hand into the right thigh, if that feels good. Pressing it away. Or maybe you leave the press and just reach the right hand back, sinking the hips down towards the mat. So breathing into this kind of intense stretch in the hips, and hopefully it feels like a bit of a release. And as you continue to breathe, 2 more breaths. Notice the sensations you feel. Send your breath to spaces that can release tension. So strong. Lovely, folks. Okay, from here we're going to unwind our lizard, and then we're going to bring the right knee back down. Find your child's pose one more time. So maybe you try something different in your child's pose as you sink the hips down towards the heels. Hands might be extended. You might tense your fingers, lifting the wrists, creating a different sensation in the shoulders. You might even lift the chest, bringing a lot of weight into the lower body. So still pressing the mat away with the tops of, or the fronts of the lower legs, the shins and the knees. So lifting the chest and maybe finding a bit of the cat-cow here. So keeping the crown of the head reaching for the front of the mat. Think about tucking the tailbone and then pointing the tailbone. And of course, you can always leave this out. Just something to try. Just a tiny, tiny spinal flexion with our shoulders extended. Something a little different. Or our arms extended. Wherever you are in this child's pose, we'll take 2 more breaths. Maybe you tried something different. Maybe the first child's pose felt so amazing. You just stayed there, went right back to it. Awesome. Whatever you chose, you can stay there as always or let it go. And then we'll come forward onto our tabletop, and then we'll step the left foot forward for our low lunge. So now I'm framing the front foot with both hands. Maybe you allow the hips to sink down towards the mat, just finding a gentle stretch in the front body, and the hips. side of the left leg, whatever you feel, just notice what you feel. And then when you're ready, we will bring the hips back so that our right hip is close to center. And then we'll sweep the hands forward and then up, really using your abdominal strength to lift the upper body. Maybe your arms are lifted high. Maybe your palms are towards one another in front of your chest, like this. Finding your crescent lunge. Again, this might be a bit of a balanced pose as we change our gaze. For 2 more breaths, thinking about pointing the right hip forward. This left hip crease kind of comes back a little bit so our hips are square. Drawing the shoulders down away from the ears, towards the spine, really open chest, stacking the head over the heart, over the hips. Beautiful. When you're ready, we'll sweep the hands down. Maybe you grab your blocks for our half splits, just thinking about straightening the front leg. Maybe the left toes lift. So maybe your hands are on your hips, maybe they're on a block. Maybe you draw your chest towards your knee, or you feel a deep enough stretch just where you are. And there's no need to change anything. Just a few moments to breathe through all the sensations you feel. Maybe if there's a space that feels really tense, you might think about, imagine sending your breath there, sending a little bit of ease, a little bit of space, a little bit of letting go. Just settle in. For half splits. And of course, your left toes can be lifted or they can be still resting on the mat, whatever feels good for you. Make this yours. Really thinking about finding a stretch in the back of the left leg, not so much sinking the hips down towards the right heel. So beautiful, friends. And then when you're ready, we'll walk the hands forward, bring a bend back into the left knee, left foot seals to the mat, and then we're going to bring both hands to the right side of the knee, and we're going to walk the left foot out a little bit if that feels better, if you need more space for your hips, which I normally do. Okay, from here I'm going to sink my hips down towards the mat. Then find your lizard pose. So maybe you stay here. Maybe you bring your elbows to the mat or to the block. Maybe you bring the weight of the front body into the right palm. Think about lifting the left shoulder, floating the left hand up, lifting the left shoulder, then maybe lifting it high. The left hand could reach back, or it could find the left thigh, pressing out just a little bit to the side. And the right hip is still sinking down towards the mat, wherever you are. So 5 more breaths in our lizard pose, whichever one you've chosen. Or switch sides, switch up the lizard. Maybe you made one choice and you want to change it up. No worries, it's your prerogative. You're the yogi, friends. Still got 2 breaths here. Beautiful. When you're ready, bring both hands to the mat. Sneak the left knee back to meet the right, and then we're going to find downward facing dog. So I'm going to tuck my toes. I'm going to press the hips up for the ceiling. I'm going to send my chest towards my thighs. Coming back to your breath, and if you need to take some organic movement here is what we call it, just some wiggles out or some bending something. Give something a try. Sometimes, like the first time I arrive in downward dog, I'm like, Um, but your body can move in a lot of different ways that might feel yummy here. So maybe you bend one knee and drop the opposite heel. Maybe you try to shimmy the shoulders slowly and gently first, see if that feels good. Maybe you try and shimmy the hips if that feels good. Just be kind and be curious. Be here for 5 breaths, so find stillness when you're ready in your down dog, sending the shoulders up towards the tailbone. Weight is evenly distributed in the hands as much as possible. If this is too much on your palms, you can always come down to your elbows. Call this dolphin pose, but it's just like down dog. For 2 more breaths, think about releasing the muscles, the backs of the legs. So strong, guys. You got this. Okay, from here, we're going to meet in a standing position at the top of the mat. So maybe you come through tabletop, bring the knees down, and then stepping forward. Maybe you walk the hands up towards the feet. I always say that. Maybe you walk the feet up towards the hands. You can walk the hands back if you want to. Okay, and then you might roll the head and everything up towards standing. Okay, we've arrived here together. Thank you for your patience. Find your mountain pose, really pressing the mat away with both feet, pressing into as much of the feet as you possibly can, reaching the fingers away from the shoulders. They can be down at your sides or lifted high, doesn't matter. Drawing the navel into spine, energetically drawing the heels away from one another, like you're going to rip the mat in half in between you. Wrapping the muscles of the legs around your frame. Shoulders drawing away from the ears. Beautiful. For just this moment, we're going to keep our weight as evenly distributed as possible, so keeping the hip points pointing forward as much as possible. As we lift the right hand high, and then maybe you find a side bend. So really pressing into the right heel, or maybe you just keep the right hand lifted high if you don't want to bend over to the left side. No worries. Either way, still drawing the navel into spine, or sucking it in, this engagement in the abdomen, knitting the ribs together, whatever you need. Just have like a really intentional strength in the core to support you as you find this extension with the right hand. And then when you're ready, we'll switch it out to the left. Still thinking about pressing the left heel into the mat. Right hand drops down, left hand comes high, breathing into the left side body, still drawing the ribs together, this engagement in the core. Two more breaths here. And then when you're ready, friends, we'll unbend, come high, lift through the crown of the head or the top of the head. You're reaching for the ceiling. And then we're going to bring our weight and our mountain stability into the right foot. And then I'm going to float my left foot. So allow a little bend in the right knee, so you're not locking the right knee. And then I'm going to float my left foot. Maybe you lift the left foot like you're going to step on a step, or maybe it just kind of hovers. It's really up to you. This is a one-legged mountain. So make your one-legged mountain for 2 more breaths. Finding your stability. Come in and out of it as you need. And when you're ready, we're going to slide the left foot back so that all of our toes are pointing towards the front of the mat and our left heel's lifted and our toes are now resting towards the back of the mat. You want to have some space here, so we have our train tracks or railroad tracks, whatever they are for you, for your hips to be. Okay, so from here, we'll find our full crescent lunge. So maybe the hands lift high, maybe they come palms to face one another in front of your chest. You have a bend in the right knee. Head is stacking over the heart space, stacking over the hips, still drawing the navel into spine or keeping that engagement in the core. Coming back to your breath for 3 more breaths. So strong. Notice where you feel tension I know we've held poses for a really long time, so you might feel a tension building. Can you send your breath there? You've got this. When you're ready, we're going to sweep the hands back, wherever they are, sweep them back. Reach the fingertips towards the back of the mat as you open through the clavicles. So your shoulders are drawing towards the spine, towards one another behind you, and away from the ears. And you have this really strong intention in the fingers, like you're really reaching behind you. Maybe you hinge from the hips, just drawing the chest a little bit forward, or the shoulders reaching for the front of the mat. Still drawing the left hip forward, right hip back. So we call these airplane arms. So strong. From here, we're going to bring as much weight as possible into the right foot, deep in the bend in the right knee, and then we're going to find our one-legged mountain again. Left leg's going to lift. So maybe you just step forward, find your mountain pose, and then lift the left leg. Maybe you slide it forward and lift up. Doesn't matter, whichever one. Arrive in your one-legged mountain. From here, we're going to find our figure 4. So I'm going to cross my left ankle over the right leg. Maybe it's crossing at the right ankle. Maybe it's crossing over the right knee. Totally up to you. Figure 4. From here, maybe you leave your hands down, or maybe you bring them palms in front of the chest. You got it. You might bring a deeper bend into the right leg, still pointing the tailbone down towards the mat, still drawing the navel into spine. You have a strong engagement in the belly, breathing in, coming in and out of this as you need. Of course, you can be here. You can even have your left toes kickstanding on the mat. Find your figure 4. Come in and out of it. You decide how deep you bend for 3 more breaths. I know that right leg is working so strong. When you're ready, you're going to step the left foot back, and the left toes are going to point towards the top left corner of the mat. They don't have to be too far, so maybe they're just a few feet away. From here, we're going to point the hips towards the front of the mat. So really draw the right hip back, left hip forward until it's square. And then we'll find our pyramid pose. So there's still a tiny little bend in the right knee, and then we're going to fold forward or send the chest forward, thinking about a long spine. We'll find a deep stretch in the backs of the legs and the hips, and probably in the spine too. So maybe you're next to a wall as you hinge forward, and that supports you. Maybe you find your blocks, bring the mat to you that way as you just fold forward, or maybe you just bring your hands to your hips or to rest behind you, the top of, well, the base of your spine, the top of your legs, for pyramid pose. So maybe you stay here in this fold forward, and that feels good. You might bring the head all the way down to the knees. So many options here. What you're really looking to find is a deep stretch in the backs of the legs and a nice yummy one in the hips. If you don't feel any sensations, that's okay. Be patient with yourself. Coming back to your breath. So thinking about a long spine as much as possible, so reaching through the crown of the head, still engaging the core. So strong. For 2 more breaths, you got this. Beautiful. And then we're going to step forward for a mountain pose. Let it go. When you're ready, just bring the blocks away so I can find my one-legged mountain pose. We're going to bring our weight, it's rooting stability sensation into the left leg now, lifting the right foot. Maybe it just hovers. Maybe it finds a step. Find your stability. Find that engagement, really pressing the mat away with the left foot. So strong. From here, we'll find our crescent lunge. So your right leg's going to step back. Maybe it finds mountain pose first and steps back, or maybe you just sweep it all the way back. Lifting the hands high or bring them to the chest for 5 breaths. Squaring the hips now that we've arrived, and sending your breath to spaces that feel tense or coming back to your ocean breath. For 2 more. You got this, guys. Beautiful. Sweeping the arms back, airplane, crescent. So we're going to draw the hands away from the shoulders, reaching the fingers towards the back of the mat. Maybe the shoulders draw a little bit towards the front of the mat as you hinge from the hips. Still reaching the right hip forward, left hip back so they're square. And this long line of energy from the crown of the head all the way to the lifted right heel. And then when you're ready, we're going to find our one-legged mountain with the right foot lifted in front of us. So you might bring as much weight as possible into the left foot and then straighten the left leg, send it forward. Maybe you step into mountain and then lift the right leg. Maybe you just gently and slowly slide it forward, finding your balance, finding a point in front of you that's not moving. Keep your gaze steady while you breathe. Continue to balance. And then when you're ready, we'll find our figure 4 again. So we're going to cross the right ankle over the left leg. Maybe you find that kickstand with the right toes resting on the left side of the left leg. Maybe you press the right ankle into the left thigh or the left shin. Maybe you find a bend in the left knee. You might bring your hands together in front of your chest or leave them resting down. You can even lift them high, totally up to you. Still engaging the core, coming in and out of it as you need. Be patient with yourself. Allow the right knee to be heavy, kind of be a bit of a counterbalance. Just open the hips just a little bit. Making this bend as deep as you need. Pressing the mat away. The left foot so strong. And when you're ready, we're going to uncross the right leg and then step it back. Right toes point towards the top corner, the right corner of your mat. And we have this tiny little bend in the left knee. We're going to square the hips for the front of the mat, and then we're going to fold forward. So find a fold that feels good for you. Maybe just a slight hinge, no worries. You're probably going to feel it either way. It's going to be good for your hips either way. If you need to adjust the back foot to point the toes further out or further in, kind of towards like our crescent feet were, that's totally fine. Make whatever adjustments you need in your foundation. Being kind and curious. Really allowing the right hip to be heavy, the left hip to kind of float, so keeping a bend, tiny little bend in the left knee. Maybe you got your blocks. Maybe you send your forehead towards the left knee and just fold forward. You find your pyramid pose here. You really want to keep the core engaged to support the back body. For 5 more breaths, breathing through the sensations you notice. So strong, friends. Beautiful. From here, we'll lift the head back over the heart, back over the hips, and then we'll step the right foot forward. And just before we find a fold, let's find a gentle back bend. So I'm going to point my clavicles, or just point the upper part of the chest, like you're pointing the armpits up towards the sky. So slide the shoulders back and down, and then maybe you bring your hands behind you, reaching for your heels. Maybe you lift the hands high, still drawing the navel into spine, bracing the core, and cactus the arms out, elbows wide, totally up to you. Just really shining the upper chest for the ceiling. Strong front body to support. our tiny little back bend. Okay, beautiful. From here, we'll fold forward. Maybe you fold forward standing, bringing the head down towards the mat and just allowing it to be heavy like this. You might find your blocks, bring the mat to you. Or you can always come to the mat and fold forward like that. So wherever you are, allowing the head to be heavy, allowing the shoulders to be heavy, sliding off to the side, not shrugging up towards the ears. Just finding some rest for 3 more breaths. Beautiful. And when you're ready, we will find the mat with both shoulder blades and bend the knees, plant the soles of the feet, and then just drop the knees from one side to the other. Maybe you bring your breath into this, maybe leave it out. So you might inhale as your knees come to one side, and exhale as they arrive in the other. If you want to go slower, sometimes I like to just inhale as they come to center, and then exhale, drop them down. Inhale, and then exhale, drop the knees down. And it's okay if your hips lift from one side to the other, finding a little bit of rotation in the back body and the hips. You might stay here, or you might walk your feet wider than the mat and drop one knee and then the other, noticing a different sensation in the hips, the back body. And then when you're ready, we will hug everything into center. So I'm going to bring my knees into my chest, just like we did at the beginning of the practice. And then find your last shape. So take whatever you need before you're ready to settle. And maybe your last shape is going to be just your legs and arms extended, shimmying the shoulders together, create that shelf for your heart again. Or maybe you rest on one side or the other. Maybe you come alongside a wall and lift the legs up against a wall. Maybe you feel better in a comfortable seat. We will bring our attention back to the breath. It's okay if other thoughts come. That's totally normal. Notice your thoughts. Notice how you can observe those thoughts coming and going, just like you observe sounds. Sound of your breath, sounds in the space around you. And come back to your breath, or allow your breath to invite your awareness back. And friends, we'll take 60 breaths together, just in silence. And then we will come together to close out the practice. You're always welcome to stay in this rest for a few more moments, and if you're ready to move on, we will slowly and gently just come to a comfortable seat. Get there however you like, however you need, and we'll close out our practice together. So, in yoga, we often close our practice with our hands in front of our chest, palms together. I like to rub my hands together, create some heat. Maybe you keep that heat in between your hands, bring it over your eyes, to your belly, whatever feels good. Stack it over my heart. You're important already. You always were. Your presence is treasured. Thank you so much for sharing this space with me. Thank you for creating this time for yourself. Thank you for allowing me to guide you. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day.